the biggest game of the day, and maybe one of the biggest games of the year, goes on in Baton Rouge. It's number 1 Florida with its toughest test of the regular season against number 4 LSU. And the big story has been, will he or won't he, will Tim Tebow play and be ready to come back from the concussion, or will he have to possibly sit out? Now, the news generally has been pretty good, and as of Tuesday, Tebow was back at practice, not cleared to play yet. That was probably the final hurdle, to get out to practice, throw a couple of footballs around, take some snaps with the first team, which he also did. So everything is progressing along pretty well for Tim Tebow to play against LSU and be ready for what will be a huge game at nighttime in Baton Rouge. So Tebow was at practice in full pads, though he didn't necessarily need them. He was also wearing the red non-contact jersey, which a quarterback usually wears. A guy like Tebow is not going to get jostled around all that much in practice, even when he's healthy. But there was no contact. He threw some passes. He ran with the first team offense, and that was a big thing. The SEC also has an interesting undercard. The LSU-Florida game will be played at night. In the afternoon, it's number 3 Alabama against number 20 Ole Miss. Mississippi lost a couple of weeks ago, sent them tumbling down tumbling down the rankings from number 4 to now they're number 20. Rebounded a bit last week with a win over Vandy, but still there were some issues for the Rebels. Their quarterback Javon Sneed threw 3 interceptions, and he hasn't been particularly accurate. Alabama, meanwhile, has been arguably the best team in the country. Very balanced, great offense, great defense. Quarterback Greg McElroy has given them a more dangerous passing game than the Crimson Tide had last year. In the Big Ten, the big matchup is Wisconsin at number 9 Ohio State. Now, the Badgers are the only undefeated team in the country not in the AP poll. Win this week, improve to 6-0, and they'll correct that problem. Wisconsin will no doubt be ranked if they can beat the Buckeyes in Ohio State. It's been sort of a typical-looking Wisconsin team in that in years when the Badgers are not expected to do all that well, they tend to do well, and they usually do it with a good running game. John Clay has led the team in rushing and leads the number 1 rushing offense in the Big Ten. For Ohio State, it's a tremendous defensive team. Again, the Buckeyes ranked 9th in the country in total defense and yards allowed. They've only allowed 11 points a game. Offensively, the Buckeyes are still trying to find their way a little bit with Terrell Pryor at quarterback and a spotty running game.